So like all the things that I used, like all of the things, is that what you're asking? Okay, so we had this fence situation here. This is a new fence by the neighbors. And then you can see this kind of halfy fence right here. So we had built this about 5 years ago and it came all the way down like the length, right? And then like a couple years later, these homes came in and they built these new fences, and it made this like big gap in between in between there, and like rodents were getting in there, trash was getting in there, leaves were building up. It was kind of like a fire hazard, just all kinds of things. And we're like, we don't want this 1 foot gap in between the fences. And so we took down the little halfies, and in the backyard, it's the same thing. Like you can see kind of way back here, there's still a section that we need to take down. We have to figure out how to gate it off. Anyway, so, excuse me, I used the little halfy fence boards for my beds because they are untreated and they are cedar and they are much newer, 5 years old. And then these boards were not for the beds. Like I'm not using those because those are like 20 years old. I'm using those to fill in gaps in the fence over in the garden. So I used the little cedar boards and I cut off the little dog ears on the ends. Dog ears are, like the little corners there, so I could make solid rectangle beds. And I used 2x4s, which the boards were attached to for the fence. And I used this beast because the circular saw, my hands don't fit the circular saw right. Like I can't get the safety punched and the trigger at the same time, and it's like scary and complicated. So I'm hoping that I actually get one for Mother's Day. It's just like more my size. Anyway, and then I used a drill with a torque bit. Can you see that? Not a Phillips. Torque bits are all the way. Okay, yeah. They're just far superior. I absolutely love torque bit and torque screws. So that was it. That was it. Like I just cut, let's go out there and look at them. I just cut up some 2x4s for like the length of 2 fence boards, which is like 11 inches. So 1 for each corner and then 1, in the middle to keep it from kind of like warping or whatever. And I cut those to, they're about 4 feet. And I just screwed them all together. And since there are still more boards, that means there's more for more beds. Actually, I think there's a whole other panel. I'm like all over the place today. There's a whole nother panel buried. Oh my God, how many boards are over here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I could get like a bed 2 out of that one. And there's a whole nother panel. More beds. And hopefully I can build some for along here. So that's what I did. Thanks for asking.